to another live stream. We're talking Prizepicks, NBA player props over on Prizepicks. I should say. Hope everybody's doing well today. Hope this live stream finds you all in good spirits. Feel like my camera is tilted. Oh well. We'll live. We'll make it through. Hope everybody had is having a good morning. I was gonna say hope everybody had a good night, but I caught myself there because we did not have a good night yesterday. I'm pretty sure the majority of the people in this chat and the majority of the people who will be joining at a later time watching the replay played the taco, Shea Gilgis Alexander's taco, and it did not go well. So I'm assuming your slips were spoiled. Maybe you doubled up in your flex. If you played him in a power play like me, you did not win, and that is sucky. So you probably didn't have the best of nights, but we're back. And as I put in the Discord, pretty shitty night, pretty shitty end, I guess, yesterday. Don't let today's bad times turn into today's bad times. So bring that negative shit into a new day, and your new day turns into a bad day. So you know your whole week sucks. So, easier said than done to cut it. Move on. I understand that, but it is necessary. Bigger props. It is necessary in life to cut it and just move forward. So, punch a wall, scream into a pillow. Let's play Red Dead Redemption 2 and fucking rob a bunch of trains. Wreak havoc on the town. Make it feel good. Not hurting anybody. Makes you feel good. Figure it out. But definitely don't let that become part of your new day. So we got new plays for this new day. We're talking Prizepicks today. I got a couple of plays I want to show. Already posted my 2 hour over. Oh shoot! Sorry guys. Oh woo. Woo. Hold on. Background music. Oh, I'm so glad I saw that. So glad I saw that. There we go. There we go. There we go. Man. Could have been a disastrous day. How's my mic now, Michael? My music was so loud. So maybe it was, the mic audio was sounding pretty shitty, but should be okay now. Music's at a reasonable volume. Background music now. So we're good. Yeah. So basically, as I was saying, don't let yesterday's Shea Taco experience turn into a bad day today. Move on. We got new plays. We got new things to talk about today. Definitely sucks that he didn't hit his props, but then you can do about it now. And very rarely will Prizepicks reboot. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So we got new plays to talk about today. All right. We got Bankroll builder to talk about today. And then we got your Q&A. We got questions. We got player prop inquiries. We'll answer those. We'll dig into them using props.cash. We got a lot more games on the slate. So we're not going to go game by game. Otherwise, we'd be here all afternoon. But we will cover as many player props as we can for the next hour or so. So with that being said, let us move on. I'm going to talk about the Bankroll builder real quick. We mentioned this in yesterday's stream. If you're watching this on the replay, welcome in. Appreciate you watching it. Talk about Bankroll builder. But I want to share with you just some basic guidelines, something I cooked up. So Bankroll challenge basically is something that I want to try with you all in the Discord in terms of just making, yes, obviously making more money, but keeping your money, I guess you should say, keeping more of your money, making your money last longer, stretching your money. So 4 bullet points here. I won't spend a ton of time on this, but from my experience and things that I feel like can really help, number one, determining entry size or unit size. If you don't know what a unit size is, it's not what it sounds like. It has nothing to do with the human anatomy. It's just the amount of money that you're playing with, that you've allotted to play with. So like if you got $100 in your bank account, you got to figure out like what increment you're playing with. Prizepicks has a $5 minimum. So is that $25 slips that you're looking to build out? Not in one day, hopefully. $10 slips, you know what I'm saying? So figuring out what that entry size looks like for you. Only playing what you can afford to lose. This is going to keep you from chasing. This is going to keep you from running out of money. Pay yourself. We talked about withdrawing money, limiting the deposits, increasing the withdrawal frequency and size. You win money, withdraw. You win money, withdraw. Not the whole amount, but a certain percentage. We talk about maybe a 50-50 rule, 60-40 rule. 60% of that stays in your account, 40% you pay yourself. And then last but not least, you are in control. So what I mean by you are in control is regardless of what I say, anybody else says that you watch on YouTube in terms of you have to play this player, you're going to miss out. You're not going to miss out on anything. There'll be more plays the next day. There is no such thing as the best play. There'll be another best play 5 minutes from now. Use your research. And at the end of the day, if you have to use your gut, if you feel like something's not going to work, just don't go with it. You are in total control of your slips. You are in total control of your bankroll. It is not anybody else's fault. And it is not anybody else's credit. If you do great, it's not because somebody else did it. You did it. So those are 4 bullet points, real simple stuff here. We can expand on those in tomorrow's live stream, but I just wanted to roll this out to you all, present this. And I think this is something we can kick off on Monday. Monday would be January 22nd, 21st, something like that. We'll kick it off Monday. This should take us to the end of February. At the end of February, we'll have something to talk about in terms of how our bankrolls look, and we'll be able to track it together and things like that. So let us move on. Bankroll Builder, totally optional. You don't have to join this. You don't have to participate, but it'd be great if you did. The more, the merrier. Let's get into some injury news in the NBA. Super important to know injury news if you're not up to date on injury news. Even if you don't do your own player prop research, always know injury news. Back-to-back, questionables, things like that. Probable, you got Bojan, Ayton, Derek Jones Jr. Questionable. Get used to seeing LeBron James on this questionable list every single day. Luka, Edwards. You know what? I hope Luka plays. I'm so sick and tired of watching Kyrie Irving go for 50 and watching all these projections and people saying take the under on Kyrie because he has yet to go over 33 points and the next game he goes for 40. I just been staying away from Kyrie, but I'm so sick of watching that shit. Luka needs to hurry up and come back so we can get a real team going in Dallas again. And Edwards is questionable. Brunson, Holiday, Porzingis, Derek White. Man, a lot of Celtics. Brandon Miller, Josh Hart, and Karis LeVert. We know who is out. That's Jaime Jaquez Jr., the other Triple J. Shaden Sharp is out, which bodes well for one of my plays today. Kevin Love is out, and Day'Ron Sharp is out. So there is your injury report for today. We're going to just move right on. Thanks 25 is your promo code for props.cash. We'll be using props.cash throughout the stream for all our research, all our player prop research. You want to sign up, use the promo code. If not, no worries. We got a free props.cash bots in the Discord. It is a light version, not giving you as much detail as what you'll see today, but it is better than nothing. So that is free in the Discord. Check it out. But thanks 25 promo code, save 25% off your first month on props.cash. Obviously, you know Prizepicks 100% deposit match up to $100. There's my referral link on the screen. If you have not signed up for Prizepicks, do so using that referral code. Helps me out a lot, helps the channel out a lot. Last but not least, OddsShopper is the newest partner of the channel. There's my referral link right there. OddsShopper covers all the pick'em sites. So if you don't play on Prizepicks, you play on Underdog, Sleeper, Better, Jock Market, you name it, they have it. Lots of plays going on. If you don't like doing any research, you just want the plays, OddsShopper is what you want to use. Takes all the research out of it. You just look, browse, and pick the plays you want. They do the work for you. So any questions about OddsShopper, leave me a comment below, but there's my information right there on the screen. Let's get this going. Kicking things off, my 2 plays that I want to share with you today for Wednesday, January 17th, 2024. We're going to kick things off with a Colin Sexton player prop. I like the over on his 4.5 assist. Second prop that I like on the board is an 8.5 rebounds and assist line for Anthony Simons. I also like the over on this one. Shaedon Sharpe being out does help this, but the line is very good. The odds are very good. The matchup is pretty good against the Nets as well. So those are my 2 plays for today that I've already put into a slip. And so we're gonna head over to Prizepicks and pull up the board. And I just want to kick things off. I'm just going to select the 2 plays that I just went over in the video or in that slide. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we can start digging into additional player props. What we'll do here, if you're new to the channel, if you're new to the streams, what we've been doing, what's been working well for us is we're going 6 player props, 5 to 6 player props. We're taking those over to props.cash. We're breaking them down. We're coming back to Prizepicks. We're taking 5 to 6 more. We're going back. We're just rinsing and repeating here. And literally we're covering anywhere between 20 to 30 player props in one stream. So be patient. A lot of people will have questions. So if I don't get to your question, if I don't get to your player prop, it's all good. Hit me up in the Discord. I'd be more than happy just to help you out one-on-one over there. But let's kick it off. Let's get this going. We got 31 people in on the stream watching. We should have 31 likes. Hit that like button on your way in. Appreciate all the support. I haven't even checked out the chat yet. What's going on, ATM? Big Icy. Hector, what's going on, my man? Damien, what's good? Damien with the Australian basketball play yesterday, man. Came through. Had to go across the world. No depth is too great for Damien to find good value on the board. Took the under on a PRA from the Australian Basketball League, and it worked out. Cashed a 2-pick power. I cashed the 2-pick power that I put him in with Harden's rebounds, so that worked out. Yes. Divine Miles, what's going on, my man? Yeah, that was the boy. That one is giving Trey Young's tacos a run for their money in terms of just awfulness. True Allah, what's going on, my man? Welcome in. Jim the Judge, what's going on? Good morning to you. Darrell, what's going on, man? Welcome in. Good morning to you. Michael, what's going on? Zaire, what's going on? Good morning. If Utah doesn't win today against the Warriors, I retire. They look so much better with Draymond Green, even though I know they lost, but it's more comfortable taking Curry props when Draymond's in the lineup. It just helps him out so much, but wasn't enough, man. I can't believe they dropped that shit to the undermanned Grizzlies, dude. The Grizzlies down Ja, Smart, Bane, Clark, Adams. That is a starting 5. They are down a starting 5, and they managed to squeak that one out. Not even squeak it out. They outright won. That was insane. What's going on, Swaggarian? Hey, man, it's all good, dude. This is my stream. This is how I do it, bro. Appreciate you being here, but you don't have to stay. Just keeping it real, man. Just keeping it real. All right. Let's get this going. I see a lot of player props in the chat, so we're gonna kick things off. I'm just gonna scroll up and I'm gonna take the first few that I see right off the bat. You got Jim asking about Jalen Johnson's rebounds and assists sitting at 11.5. So let's kick things off. I don't know. People expect it's an hour and a half stream, 90 plus minutes. You want 90 minutes of me just opening up with player prop. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. You go do that for 90 minutes straight, and I'll watch your channel. How about that? All right, Jalen Johnson, over or under, Jim? Over, okay. Let's see, Jared Allen, another rebound prop. What else? So we got Divine, we got Jim, both on Jared Allen rebounds. All right, we'll add him in there. What else? Clay points. Whoa, hold on. Giannis points, Steph points, Clay points. All the points. All right. We're gonna have fun today. We got a lot of games on the schedule. Now Jared Allen's rebounds got bumped up to 12 from 11.5. So just keep that in mind. Klay Thompson points. You looking at Klay points, or excuse me, looking at Steph Curry as well. Where are you at? Steph does not have a point prop. Did you know that? We got his PRA, we got his PR, PA, block shots and blocks and steals. That's interesting. The NBA tacos, man. Yesterday, I mean, 1 for 1. We'll see what Christian McCaffrey does on Sunday. We'll see what Christian McCaffrey does on Sunday because, my God, it can't be worse than what Shea did. Oh, Giannis. Giannis points. All right. All right, we're going to take these over to props.cash. We got a lot to go over today. And then we'll be back. We'll be back over to Prizepicks, but props.cash. Here we go. So I'm going to start off with this Anthony Simons rebounds and assists. The odds are looking really good to me. Minus 135 on the over, plus 105 on the under. Now, what you're looking at here are 3 games played without Shaedon Sharpe in the lineup. Without Shaedon Sharpe in the lineup, he has gone over this in 2 out of 3. He's averaging, what is that, 21, 28. 28 divided by 3 is roughly 9. 21, 28, yeah. So he's averaging the over in these 3 games. Without Shaedon Sharpe or with Shaedon Sharpe in the lineup, or if the lineup is just the same, there's no changes to it. That's what he's done over his last 10. So it looks really good when you look at it from the 10-game angle. And if you want to get really narrow with it and just check out the games where he's played just without Shaedon Sharpe, there you go. So I like the over on this one for Anthony Simons. The matchup with Brooklyn is definitely not a scary matchup. Brooklyn is allowing they're 22nd in rebounds allowed. So that's 47 a game, 45 a game. giving up 26 assists a game. So I thought that one looked good. I wanted to jump on that. I have a feeling that might get bumped up to 9 at some point today. The second play I wanted to talk about was Colin Sexton's assist. I don't know if you have been doing it, but man, his points have been really good. Like over the last 5 games or so, his points have been worth taking. But his assists have been pretty good as well. So minus 125, minus 102 are your odds. He's gone over this in 80% of his last 10 games. He's getting you 5, basically getting you 5 every single game. Matchup with Golden State is an okay one. It's not like the best matchup. It's not a bad matchup at all. You're just not seeing as much green with the rankings here. So Golden State allowing 26 assists per game. Colin Sexton does a little bit of everything, you know. He's scoring. His scoring looks so damn good. If you want to take the over on his points, I definitely see why. But he's scoring. He's dishing. He's grabbing a few rebounds here and there. I mean, he's making an impact on the defensive end too. Few steals, few blocks per game. So I think Colin Sexton's in a good spot with not all his props, with quite a few of his props, but the one that I really like was the assist. So, all right, let's move on. Those are the 2 that I'm looking at for today. We're gonna go to Atlanta. We're gonna take a look at Jalen Johnson's RA. We're gonna look at Jared Allen's rebounds. Actually, no. Because we're already talking about Golden State and Utah. Let's look at Klay Thompson's points since that was brought up. Much easier to kind of cover. If we got plays from the same game, let's just knock them all out while we're on that game. So Klay's points, whoever asked about Klay's points, sitting at 18.5 versus the Utah Jazz. 3 out of his last 5. He's gone over in 6 out of his last 10. He's had a nice stretch here after what was really bad block of games where he just looked cold. He was just off from the field. Matchup versus Utah is better than the matchup versus Golden State, but we've seen it before where matchups aren't everything. We've seen bad matchups and we've seen good results. We've seen great matchups and bad results. So looking at Klay Thompson at home, let me unfilter that. Boom. So that's what he's done overall. 5 out of his last 10, 3 out of his last 5. So still really good numbers. Looking at the matchup here, you see that Utah ranks 23rd in the league in points allowed, giving up 118 per game. Now the projections here only show Klay getting you 17 points, but the odds don't really reflect that. Odds are kind of a coin flip. So you can make a case either way, 18.5 over, 18.5 under. It's hard to look at that last game against Memphis, right? But I don't see that being the result every game out. So one thing you could do, something I like to do, is look at the last time a player didn't go over and then look at how long it took him to get back on track. So within these 10 games, we have a couple examples of that. Klay goes for 15 versus Orlando, goes for 24 versus Denver. Klay goes for 13 versus New Orleans, goes for 30 versus Chicago. Klay goes for 9 versus Memphis. He goes for what today? It's always interesting to me how quickly a player bounces back from a bad game. So, I mean, unless you see Utah locking them down, then I think the over on his points is in play. All right, now let's go to Atlanta. Jalen Johnson, looking at his rebounds and assists. I was looking at this one too. This matchup with Orlando is not ideal, but we got a lot of things working in the favor of the over. First of all, we got favorable odds for the over, minus 118. He got 6 out of his last 10, 3 out of his last 5. Matchup with Orlando, like I mentioned, it's not ideal. Orlando is a tough defense. They're top 5 in most of these categories. Rebounds and assists. Projections for Jalen Johnson grayed out well, though. So 12.61 is what he's projected for today. 2 games versus the Magic this season. Now, I know the overall game logs look really bad, but you got some games in there as a rookie. Role was different. You had John Collins there last season. Don't pay attention to those. Look at the Orlando games from November and January, the last 2. He hooked it, and then he went over 15. So you got some positive momentum going on here. This is good. I think this is a good play. It's grading out really well in a lot of projections that I've seen, this morning when I was doing research. So this is another one that you can consider taking the over on. All right. Jared Allen rebounds. Jared Allen's rebounds got bumped from 11.5 to 12. So last game against the Bucks on the 29th, he did pull down 12 rebounds. Now, this was getting really good odds at -132 to the over prior to the bump. I don't know what the odds are now with the bump, but they can't be too bad, They're just not going to be as good. So over his last 10 games, 80% hit rate. He's basically got you 12 or more in those games. I mean, in 2 of those games, he damn near doubled up. Averaging 14 rebounds over his last 10. He's averaging 15 over his last 5. Big front court in Milwaukee. We know that already, but they're grading out as little below league average in rebounds allowed per game. Rebounds projected for Jared Allen today, sitting at 12.2. So 12.2 rebounds for Jared Allen. Points and rebounds, if that's something you were interested in, -120 to the over, -106 to the under. That's insane. He has that upside. Points and rebounds, though, up until last game, they weren't looking all that great, but 42 points and rebounds against the Milwaukee Bucks. Today, he is projected for 28 on the dots. Points and assists, a little better in terms of history. Crushed it in that last game. He's projected for 19 points and assists today. I think the best bet is Jared Allen rebounds, because I always worry about his scoring when Donovan Mitchell's on the court, because we know how Donovan Mitchell will just soak up so much usage, and if he gets hot, I don't think anybody else is touching that ball. Even through double teams, I think he still takes shots during double teams, triple teams. But I think Jared Allen's rebounds are probably, I don't want to call them the safest, but they're grading out the best from what I see. Let's look at Giannis's points since we're in the same game, and I think that'll be it for the first 6 player props we talked about over on Prizepicks. So Giannis's points are at 32.5 over on Prizepicks. You're getting it at a lower line, so 33.5 is what it's showing here. Let's bring this down to 32. So when we bring it down to 32, it does change his game log a little bit, but nothing too crazy. We know his usage has gone down with Dame in town, so we're not seeing the same dominant performances. PRA-wise, and fantasy points-wise, sure, he's putting up really strong performances, but it's just not needed for him to go out there and try to get you 40. He can, but he's kind of living in that high 20s, mid 30s range. Now, today his point prop is at 32.5. He needs 33. Matchup with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't believe the matchup is as daunting as this looks, because you don't have Mobley in the lineup. And I know a lot of these numbers, this is season-long numbers here. So you got to factor that Mobley is not in the game. That is one big component of their defense out. Giannis is projected for 30 points today. Honestly, I would not be afraid to take the under on his points. Not because the projections say so, but because we're not seeing a whole lot of positive, results here. His head-to-head matchups with Cleveland, you could look at that and say he crushes Cleveland, he kills Cleveland. It's true, but these 2 games were last year without Dame. This game is this year. So that game was with Damian Lillard in the lineup. So you do have that one game where he did go over versus Cleveland with Dame in the lineup. So you have that one game going for you, or you can look at the whole picture and say the odds don't look great, and neither do his game logs. So I wouldn't be afraid to pull the trigger on the under. Or maybe wait and see if this gets bumped down to 32 and then take the over. Flat numbers are easier to take the over on. All right. So, Jalen Johnson over. Jared Allen, I think he can get 12 rebounds. The question is, do you think he can get you 13 rebounds? He is averaging 14, again, over his last 5 and 10 games. Klay Thompson's points. How quickly do we think it takes him, or how quickly does he bounce back from that 9-point game versus the Grizzlies? We know that he does bounce back usually the next game from what we've seen from game log. So you can look at the over on his points or just not play it. And then Giannis, I'll take a stand and say under on his points. I'm not throwing this shit into every one of my slips, but just based off what we saw, I think the under is more in play. All right, we're going to clear these out. We're going to take a look at the chat. We're going to bring up more player props, and we're going to keep this going. So we got AD over or under rebounds and assists. Let's do it. That's 17. Wasn't it at 17 and a half? Got bumped down. What else? Welcome in, everybody. If you're just joining the chat, we're going over player props right now. So we're going Q&A. You got a player prop in question, you can throw it in the chat. I'll try my best to get to every single one of them. Try to go in order here as they come in. If I don't get to yours, hit me up in the Discord. Link is in the stream description. I don't mind breaking down one-on-one in the Discord if you have a question, if I don't get to it here. All right, let's see. Herbert Jones points? Prince points? Did Prince go over his points last game? I know he was at 9.5 and then got bumped up to 10.5. Hey, Herbert Jones blocks. I'm just going to throw this out there. If you were looking for another play for Herbert Jones, his 0.5 blocks looks good. I was looking at that this morning. I almost wrote him up, but I decided to go with Sexton's assist instead. And then who put in the stream yesterday the formula to the Lakers losing? Anytime Prince is starting, the Lakers are going to lose. What was that? Like, that was the blueprint to them losing, is when he starts. I got Tayshaun Prince in there. LaMelo Ball. All right, Michael, LaMelo Ball, points and rebounds. Points are still where we had them last game. They were at 22.5 against the Heat. Now they're at 22.5 against the New Orleans Pelicans. 27.5 points and rebounds from Melo. What else? Obey dedication. What's going on? I don't think I've seen you in the chat before. Appreciate you being here. LaMelo hit his PRA 4 out of the last 5 games. Gotcha. Let's see. Divine says, let me know, Clay 20, Steph 25, Warriors win. Man, I would love nothing more to see than the Warriors, or at least Clay and Steph get back to like lighting it up. It's so much fun when they're winning, and when they're the ones like shooting. True Allah. These are some picks. You got Jalen Duren double-double, AD double-double. You got Wemby double-double, Giannis double-double, or Ugo double-double. Mitchell PRA under 46.5, and then you got Hartenstein rebounds over 11.5. Knicks and the Rockets tonight. All right. Curry up now at 27.5 points. Let's take a look at that. Are y'all on Curry's points? Is that something y'all are waiting on? I know it wasn't up before, but y'all think this is the matchup he can definitely exploit? Divine says he loves Clay's over. Oh, that's your parlay. So Clay over points, Steph. So Clay 20, Steph 25, and a Warriors win. That's your three same game parlay. Definitely check Beasley points and assists over 11.5. All right, so that's where we're gonna leave it off. When we come back, we're gonna start with this one. I think that's what I'll do. I'll just leave the prop on the screen where we'll start with when we come back. That way I don't hopefully I don't miss too much. All right, so we got Beasley PA. All right, so we have Davis, Jones, Prince, Ball, Curry, and Beasley. All right, let's head back over to props.cash. Let's break these down. All right, let's start with Beasley because we're already on this Milwaukee-Cleveland game. Let's just pull up Malik Beasley. Points and assists. -130 to the over, +100 to the under. We got one game this season where he did go over. This game was as a Laker, believe, 15 PA against the Cavs back on December 29th. Now looking at Malik Beasley's last 10 games, he's kind of got this bookend where he had 3 games at the end of December where he went over. Then he had a little slump in the middle there, and then picked it back up against Utah. 19, 16, 12, and 28. Huge game against the Kings, that overtime game. So 4 straight games of going 12 or more. What I like about this prop more than the game logs is the odds, because the odds support kind of what we're seeing here. Like, there's a reason that they are heavily favored to the over. It's sometimes it's difficult when the odds are in favor of the over, but the game logs are terrible. It's hard for you to like get past all the red. It's easier when it's green. So I do like that. We already talked about the matchup with Cleveland maybe not being as bad as this looks because they are down Mobley. Mobley's not in that lineup. We do have Malik Beasley projected for 12.49 points and assists, so that is over his 11.5 prop. You also have him projected for 11 points, and his points over on Prizepicks are at 10.5. Points and rebounds for Malik Beasley, not grading out as well, so this is slightly under his line over on Prizepicks. If you wanted to go off the cuff a little bit, take the over on his turnovers at 0.5. He's projected for 1 turnover. But yeah, I think that's a good one. Malik Beasley, liking the over on his points and assist. Minutes are key in the NBA, so if a player's not playing minutes, they're not going to produce. I mean, not everybody's Wembanyama. The guy doesn't even need to play 25 minutes to score 50 fantasy points. But most players do need time on the court to produce. Beasley's getting you that. He's getting you upwards of 29 minutes, 28 minutes in a lot of these games. So that's key. So there's Beasley. Let's look at next game on the schedule. Let's go to Charlotte and New Orleans. We'll look at Herb Jones and we'll look at LaMelo Ball. Let's start with LaMelo Ball. We're looking at his points and rebounds today. Well, we're looking at his PRA or PA right now, but let's take a look at his points and rebounds. This looks fantastic. His 10-game log looks fantastic. The odds don't really match though, because you're getting a little bit of juice to the under. LaMelo Ball is infuriating sometimes. I mean, I've never seen a player just turn it on like him after going like 0 for 12 from the field and ends up putting up a pretty decent night against the Heat. I mean, that was so... I thought I was looking at a new game or something. It was crazy. It was like night and day result from half to half. So LaMelo Ball is capable of bouncing back within the game, which is kind of insane. So points and rebounds, one hiccup against the Magic. Matchup with the Pelicans. Defense for the Pelicans is pretty good. Not magic good, but pretty good. Looking at LaMelo Ball's projections, we'll take a look at this together. So they got him projected for right at 22.5 points, 6 rebounds, basically 7 assists, PR of 28.27, and a PA of 29. So LaMelo Ball's PR over on Prizepicks is 27.5. You see it at 28 here. So I'm sorry. I mentioned the odds earlier. I totally forgot that this is a higher line. So once we adjust this line, it will impact the odds. It will shift them more in favor of the over. So now this becomes way more appealing to take the over on. And when you see the projections that are projected for over 27.5, it gives you a little bit of confidence there as well, despite the matchup not being ideal. So this one looks fair. PRA is also looking good. It's at 35.5 on props.cash. I don't know what it is over on Prizepicks. If this is at 34.5 or 35 on Prizepicks, I think this is a really good candidate for an over for LaMelo Ball. All right, let's go to Herb Jones. We'll take a look at Herb Jones' points. And I just want to show you his block shot odds. So Herbert Jones points, sneaky point prop here. 8.5 points is his line on Prizepicks. -122 to the over, -104 to the under. Gone over this in 80% of his last 10. He's gone over this in 80% of his last 5. 9 points over his last 15 games. 11 points over his last 30 games. It's pretty good. It's pretty good consistency there. He's an 11-point player on the season. He's giving you 11 points per game on the average. I don't know if you knew that. Got a lot of big names on that team. Herbert Jones kind of gets lost in the shuffle. Charlotte's defense is lost. 120 points a game. They are bottom of the league in all of these major categories here. Bottom of the league or last in the league. Herb Jones is projected for just 8 points today. So projections don't line up with what we're seeing, and they don't line up with the odds here. I say for this one, screw the projections. I think we got a lot of data here that supports the over. The matchup is there. Game logs look great. Consistency. He's not like a guy playing over his head. It's going to come back down to earth, and you got favorable odds. So I think that's a pretty sneaky point prop for Herb Jones. His block shot at 0.5. This one is sitting at minus 137 to the over, which is pretty good. Plus 100 to the under. You can see that he has recorded 1 or more block shots in 8 out of his last 10 games and 4 out of his last 5. He is projected for 0.49. I don't like these projections for him. I'm in control. We're in control. You want to take the over on his block shot? Take the over on his block shot. Damn the projections. We got a lot of supporting information here that says the over is what's in play. So 2 props for Herb Jones. Let's head over to LA. Let's look at Anthony Davis, rebounds and assists. This one was sitting, I want to say it was sitting at 17.5. That shit did not open up at 16.5. Not on Prizepicks. It's at 17 now. Did it? I must have just saw it too late. So let's move this up to 17. You see it's at minus 128 to the over at 16.5. So when we move this up to 17, it'll probably just be like a coin flip at this point. He's hit this or gone over. He's reached it or gone over in 5 of his last 10. 2 overs, 1 push in his last 5. Dallas's defense is nothing to be afraid of. Dallas also has a lot of uncertainty in that lineup right now. Exum remains out. Derrick Jones day-to-day. Luka's on the questionable list. Grant Williams. Lively's in. I don't think Lively's out. So that's a big body in the front court. But, I mean, come on, man. It's Anthony Davis. Looking at what his projections are for today, his projections are 16.86. Now, this is going over the original line of 16.5. You can round this up to 17 because it is closer to 17 than it is to 16. We can also take a look at his last few games played against the Mavericks. 2 games this season, he pushed it, and then he goes well under it. So those are your 2 games this season. For some reason, when I don't think 17 is a big number for him to get, but then I start looking at his game logs and see that he doesn't get it all that often. It's weird how you can already, like, I don't know, just imagine somebody doing something that they're really not doing. It's like, oh yeah, AD does it all the time. And then you're looking at his game logs, you're like, he actually doesn't. He doesn't go over his rebounds all that often. I think what it is when he does go over, he goes over by so much that it makes you forget about the games that he doesn't come close. So 40% hit rate on his rebounds over his last 10. If you're looking to take the under on something, his rebounds look pretty solid. Both games against the Mavs this season, he goes under. That's interesting. I honestly did not do a lot of research on AD this morning, so seeing all this is kind of a surprise. Taurean Prince, points. 2 games versus Dallas this season. He crushes it. 14 and 15 points over his last 10. No, he did not go over last game. Son of a bitch. He had a 9.5 point prop, got bumped up to 10.5, and he finishes with 3. 5 straight games of going over. So what goes up must come down, and then it goes right back up again. So expecting a little bit of a bounce back for him. I mean, we do have 2 examples of him like stringing together good games. So he had this stretch of games where he had 4 in a row. He falls off and then gets right back on track the next game. And then that proceeds to go into another 4-game streak. He goes 2 games off, then gets back on track. I don't think he played in this game, or he didn't take a shot in this game. I don't know what happened there. And then here comes the current roll of games, and now he's down. So it looks like Prince bounces back pretty quickly from bad games. So if you want to pull the over on his points, you do have a lot of data here that shows you that he's good for it. Matchup is also good for Taurean Prince today. He is projected for 10 points. So not the best prop on the board, not the worst prop either. I mean, you can make a case for the over and under with this one. All right. Last one on the screen, I believe, is Clay or Steph at 27.5 points. Last 10 games, I wish his points were at 9.5. That would be like a first quarter point prop for Steph. 27.5. 2 games over his last 10. Last game against Memphis was his only game with Draymond out of these 10 games. Some pretty tough matchups in there, though. You got Denver. You have Miami. Toronto. Orlando. Toughest matchup out of all those, I think. And he had a really good game. Maybe looking at his odds gives you a little bit of confidence. Take the over on this one. Not the best odds. They're all right. Minus 120 to the over. He is projected for just 23. 29 points and assists for Curry, and then 27 points and rebounds. You know what this feels like? This feels like when we were looking at Trae Young's player props on Monday, and we were looking at his projections, and the matchup against the Spurs was there. It was a great matchup, and the projections just didn't make sense to me. And I feel like this is very similar to that, where this matchup is really good for Steph Curry. And I just feel like his projections should be better than 23 points. So you have a little bit to work with here. Head-to-head matchup with the Jazz, though. I mean, come on. 2022, he put up 33 points. We do have to go back quite a bit, so this is kind of irrelevant. Different Jazz team, different Warriors team. I don't know. I don't know what this one, to be honest with you. I think this is the first one so far in the video where I'm like literally undecided. Like I don't know which way to go on this one, but there's all the information for Curry, projections, defensive matchup, 10-game log, and 5-game log. All right. So far, over on Anthony Davis rebounds and assists, but I say under on his rebounds today at 13.5. Over Herb Jones points, over Taurean Prince's points. We like the over on LaMelo Ball's rebounds and points. Because I'm going to pick an under in every one of these groupings. I'm going to go with the under on Curry's points. Just to pick a side, so I'm not on the fence. And then we got the over Malik Beasley's points and assists. Also over on Herb Jones' 0.5 blocks today. So there's 6 up, 6 down. That's 12 player props. No, a little over 12 player props we covered. Multiple player props for the same guy. All right, so kicking things off with Jonas's PR. He is a very popular player. 23 is what I see it at. Let's see. Van Vliet points, Divine says, against the Knicks. All right. Oh, there he is. All right, 15.5 points for this dude. Ramo said took an under on Clay points and rebounds for 21.5. All right, man. Nothing wrong with unders. Cutler Stark, what's going on? Welcome in. Middleton, points and assist. $22.5 is what I see it at. We looking at Dylan Brooks rebounds. I don't think there's another Brooks on the game, on the slate. There's Brook Lopez or Dylan Brooks. You're looking at Lopez rebounds. Yeah, you have to be looking at Lopez because Dylan doesn't have a prop up for rebounds. Although his rebound prop was 2.5 last time I played him, and he did not go over that. Dude Love, what's up, man? Welcome in. Victor Wemby over on rebounds. Yes, especially if they're still at 9.5. I know the matchup with the Celtics isn't like you don't want to pick on the Celtics. I understand that, but we might be getting some really good value on Wemby today because people might be afraid of the matchup. And that might keep Victor Wembanyama's lines down, which is the exact opposite of what we saw on Monday versus the Hawks, where they got bumped up throughout the day. Let's see, what else? I'm just scrolling through. All right. Jim says he's going to take that Jones block prop. I think it's a pretty good one, yeah. Cutler says Pascal PA. Oh, man, I played that last slip. He was in a good spot, man. There's not much you can do. You pick guys who are in good spots and you just let the chips fall where they may. All right. Yeah, Vu. Yeah, yesterday we were reaching. Today we got plenty of options. Stewart RA is one that I played in a slip. I put that in the Discord as well. Stewart RA, yes. Yeah, man, Divine was all over that shit. Yeah. Sometimes those projections don't give you the full story. You just got to, you know what? I see enough here to go over. I'm going to go against the projections. Projections, again, they're just there to give you a guide, man. They're not there to like make the decision for you. So if you feel like a player is in a good spot, in a better spot than what you're seeing, that's an example of you are in control. You gotta jump on that. Let's see. You think so, Zaire? Curry automatic under. That's what losing will do, man. Losing will definitely zap the fun out of everything. You ever play Monopoly? Monopoly is the root of all evil. That board game will turn family members into like enemies within 30 minutes. That shit's supposed to be fun, and that is the worst. That's the worst game to ever play with. And if you love people and like people, never play Monopoly with them. I promise you, you will throw punches. All right. We got a lot of Lakers. So we got Reeves, McCollum. All right, McCollum. If I see a player in the chat mention more than once, but like for different props, Reeves is not yet on the board. Austin Reeves. But if I see a player in the chat under like with multiple props, what I'll do is I'll just put one prop on the board, and then when we head over to props.cash, we'll just go through all of them, and that way we'll cover more that way. All right. The wagon. Laurie over his rebounds and assists. Vu, this is a nice one. Took Stewart, RA, and Beasley. 2-man today. Hell yeah. I like that. Ingram, RA. All right. We got 6 on the board. So check this out. Because we have Jonas. What we're gonna do is when we go over and take a look at Jonas, we'll look at Ingram as well and McCollum. That's 3 Pelicans, all in the same game. We're gonna knock those out. We'll take a look at Van Vliet's points. We'll go Middleton's points and Brook Lopez in the same game. We'll knock those out together. Oh look, shit, we got another Pelican down here, right? So yeah, this next round of props should go by pretty quickly because we're gonna kind of just group them all together. So let's do it. Round number 3 going on. 18 player props already covered in this live stream. Who else does this shit, man? It's so much fun though. I love this. New Orleans is a haven for fantasy production against the Charlotte Hornets. We talked about LaMelo Ball. We talked about Herb Jones. We pretty much covering everybody in New Orleans except for Zion. So Jonas Valanciunas, let's look at his points and rebounds, sitting at 23 over on Prizepicks, but you're seeing it at 23.5 on books. At 23.5, it is a coin flip. So with at 23, this is going to be in favor of the over. So you're already getting it at a favorable line. It does look like it was bumped up from 22.5 though. This is what he's done against Dallas. 2 games this season. Excuse me. Wait, hold on. Scratch that. We don't give a shit about Dallas. What am I looking at here? Head to head. There we go. Sorry. 3 games against Charlotte. Last game against Charlotte, he absolutely destroyed. 42 rebounds and points over his last 10. He has gone over this in 4 games, under in 6. Now, keep in mind that Larry Nance is back, and Larry Nance has been eating into minutes in floor time for Jonas. So I don't know what that rotation looks like. I don't know what's going to happen with that rotation. But I just know that Larry Nance is in there and he is being played. Like Larry Nance is a part of this offense. He is a part of that rotation. So just keep that in mind. Especially if Jonas happens to get into foul trouble. Who's the coach in New Orleans? Willie Green? Green will not hesitate just to keep him on the bench. We've seen that before. But barring foul trouble, barring wacky-ass rotations, Jonas is in a spot tonight to eat against the Hornets. Looking at the Hornets defense, we already know that they give up production. And looking at Jonas's projection for today, now he is only projected for 19 points and rebounds. Maybe that has a little bit to do with Larry Nance being back. What we could do is remove Larry Nance from the team, from the rotation, and just look at what Valanciunas has done without Larry Nance this season. So over his last 10 games played without Larry Nance, Jonas has gone over this in 70% of his games. He has gone over this in 60% of his over his last 5. With Nance in the lineup, so this is with Nance in the lineup. It's not bad. It is not bad. It is just not as strong and convincing as the other image we saw. So I would say that is my only reservation with Jonas, is that Larry Nance is there to mess up your slip. McCollum. $17.5 points. We'll start there. We'll run through a few of these. Even money, 17.5 points for CJ McCollum. He's gone over this in 5 out of his last 10, 2 out of his last 5. Against the Hornets, he has hit this in 3 straight games. Last game being on the 15th of November of, December, about a month ago. Projected for 16 points today, so a little bit under his point prop. Matchup is prime. McCollum's assist, I saw something this morning. Was it his rebounds? Those definitely will not be on Prizepicks. PRA? PRA, 26.5 PRA for McCollum. I don't know if you're looking at his PRA, but 26.5 over on Prizepicks as well. Last game, he just flat out had a great game. So he pretty much went over all his props in that last game. Over his last 10, he's gone over 6 times. Over his last 5, he's gone over twice. Take a look at his points and assists if you want to look at that. Better odds in favor of the over. Gone over this in 6 games. 60% over his last 5 and 10 games, and then his PR. Rebounds and assists could be in play. According to these odds, they are not. Those are really bad odds, despite what he's done over his last 5 games. What goes up must come down. Is this sustainable for him to keep going 11, 12, 10 RA? He'll probably hook this tonight. I think his points are in the best spot to hit. Brandon Ingram was the final Pel. We looking at his rebounds and assists. Should be 8.5, 9.5. I'm sorry. It should be 9.5 over on props.cash. But is it still 9.5 over on Prizepicks? It is. Really good odds here. Minus 132 to the over. Very rarely will you see minus 140, minus 150. Those props never make it to Prizepicks. Those are just too good to list. So minus 132 in the 130s. Those are like more than likely the best odds you'll see. That's why I call those really good odds. It's just based off what we have available to us. Really good odds would be like minus 150, minus 160, but you're just not going to see those on pick'em sites. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games he's gone over in his last 10. He's gone over in 3 out of his last 5 games. This looks very strong. The matchup looks very strong. The odds are very good. Projections for Brandon Ingram look terrible. So this is another example of projections just not lining up. So I like what I'm seeing here. It's minus 132 for a reason. I think this is a good candidate for an over for Brandon Ingram. All right, so we just covered McCollum, Ingram, and Jonas. Let's head over to Milwaukee. Brook Lopez. 5.5 rebounds. So you would think he has better rebounding numbers. Maybe because he plays so much on the outside. But he has gone back-to-back games with 8 or more rebounds. He has gone 3 out of his last 5. He's gone 5 out of his last 10. But he does have this little stretch of games where he just didn't get it done. So that's also in play. You know that he's capable of not getting you 6 or more in a lot of these games. Head-to-head matchup with Cleveland. A bit of a challenging matchup. However, he did go over this. 10 boards in his last matchup. I wonder if that has a lot to do with Mobley not being in the lineup. Was Allen in the lineup that game? Hold on. Yeah, so Allen played that game. Mobley was not in the lineup, right? So there's his upside. Projected for 6.63 rebounds. So favorable projections. Not the best odds here for Brook Lopez. I'm a little undecided on this one personally, but there you go. There's his last 10. There's his last 5. His head-to-head matchup with Cleveland. Great game last game. 10 rebounds. Solid projections. Closer to 7 than they are to 6. So there's Brook Lopez. Let's talk about Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton's points and assists. Is he back to playing 30 minutes a game now? Last game against Cleveland, he only scored 13 points. Yeah, he's back to playing 30 minutes. Okay. So we're talking about points and assists for Chris Middleton. Minus 118 on the over, minus 108 on the under. He's gone over this in 2 out of his last 5. 7 out of his last 10. He's only projected for 21 PA. Head-to-head matchup with Cleveland. So Chris Middleton went under point prop against Cleveland last game, but goes over PA. He had 11 assists in that game. Do you expect this every game? Probably not. Because he's been living in that. Well, shit. You do have a few games in here that give you some something to work with here. So he does have double-digit assist upside, but this looks really good. But the majority of his games, he's in that 7-6 range. So bring your eyes down a little bit and focus on this, because this kind of is where he is most games. He did have really good games, so he is capable of it. But more than likely, I think 6 7 assists is kind of where to pencil him in. So 7 assists today, and he goes out and gets you 16 points. That's 23 PA. And that is over his 22, right? Yeah. Highly likely. I think it's likely he goes over his PA, but again, I wouldn't expect 11 assists out of him today. Victor Wembanyama, last prop on the board for us for this round. Still getting his rebounds at 9.5. What a freaking game he had against the Hawks. The dude was non-existent in the first half. He didn't even start the third quarter. What did he play? 27 minutes. And finished with 13 boards. Minus 125 on the under, minus 102 on the over. Played the Celtics back on the 31st. Only grabbed 7 boards. So there's his floor, 6, 7 rebounds. We know what his ceiling is. He is projected for 11 rebounds today. Celtics. Okay, so first of all, Porzingis is not really known as a really strong rebounder. Tatum is a solid rebounder, but those two guys together, they're not like cleaning up the glass. Otherwise, this number would be more in favor of the Celtics. This is little worse than league average. They're allowing 44 rebounds per game. So it's not like Minnesota or even Cleveland when they got their Twin Towers going on. So there is some upside here for Wemby. Again, we worry about his minutes. We worry about him being pulled. If this game's a blowout, does Pop sit him and all this bullshit? This game is being played in Boston, so home court advantage goes to the Celtics. Just keep those in mind. But I do like the over on this one, even though you're not getting strong odds to the over. I just think this one's in play. And sometimes a guy is just playing too good. Sometimes he's just on one, and it's not smart to take the under. If you are not sold on his over, then just stay away. Just stay away. I think it's over or don't play it at all. But I really like this over for him today against the Celtics. All right, so these 6 are down. We went. Let's go over on Jonas's points and rebounds, but we already talked about some of the reservations we have with Nance being back in the lineup. Oh, shit. I'm so sorry. Fred VanVleet points. Against the Knicks. So Fred VanVleet's getting some juice to the over here. Minus 125 to that over. Minus 102 to the under. Just 2 fucking terrible games. Okay, listen to me. This dude is better than 5 points and 8 points. He's better than that. This will not last. In fact, this is awesome because this is what's giving you 15.5 points. We've seen his points 17.5, 18.5. This is a very tough stretch of games for the Rockets. This Northeast tour they're on is brutal. Miami, Southeast, Midwest, I guess. North. Boston, Philly, New York. Ugh. Fuck that, man. It's a tough stretch of games, and the sun sets at like 3:30 now. We're in that season in Boston where the sun sets at like 3. Kids getting out of school. It's already dark outside. Fred VanVleet is better than fucking 5 and 8 points. Fred VanVleet. Honestly, now I'm looking at this and I love some positive regression for him. It's a tough matchup against the Knicks. I don't care. I think this one is in a good spot for the over. Projected for 14 points. I don't really care. Head-to-head matchup with the Knicks. Now, we do have to go back to last season. This was him as a member of the Raptors. That's 4 straight games of 28 plus. But again, I'm more so just looking at, look at his season average of 17 points. You're getting his line today at almost 2 points under his season average. He has a 55% hit rate on the year, going over 15.5 points. He is just in a nasty little slump of games here. So, what, did they put OG Anunoby on Fred VanVleet and they shut him down? Or they put OG on Jalen Green? Or both? Can he like cover both of them? I actually like this one for Fred VanVleet. This might be my I don't think it's a controversial play, but just like one that might make you throw. This might be my my vomit play of the day. Fred VanVleet over points, just because the matchup and his last 2 games look so terrible. I think I'm going to make this my vomit play of the day. It makes you vomit in your mouth a little bit, but I think we have enough data here to like the over on this one. So I'm on board with VanVleet over points. Liking the over on this Middleton points and assists. We talked about the breakdown. 7 assists, 16 points, gets it done. Brook Lopez scares me a little bit. You would want to believe that he can get you 6 rebounds. I don't know about this one, to be honest. Victor over, McCollum over points. Screw it. I'm going to say under on Brook Lopez, just because, like I said, I want to have an under in all these groupings. I'm not saying you should play the under, but just based on what I saw, I'm going to go with the under on this one. So those are the next 6 plays. That's 18 plays. 18 player props. Closer to 30 player props we covered so far. Let's do one more round. Let's do one more round of player props, and then we will sign off. We will do this. Let's see. I hope so, man. I just took a stand on Fred VanVleet's points. I hope so. I've been wrong before, though. Let's see. Dean Wade stretches Giannis Brook, gets some free ones. Okay. Dean Wade. Ooh. Jimmy at 0.5 threes. Okay. Jim says Sadiq Bey over PR at 18. I was going to make a Josh Giddey joke with the over 18 reference. I kind of just did. Isaiah Stewart over 9.5 points. All right, last round. If y'all have some like riskier plays or kind of like off the beaten path type of plays that you aren't expecting people to know about, throw them in the chat. Yesterday I played a prop category that I typically don't play. I played 3-point attempts, and I took the over on Tyrese Maxey 7.5. There is no prop for that. There is no like category to search and look at the game logs and all that stuff, like rebounds or assists. But I just went back to his games and I looked at how many shots he was taking. I took Melton out the lineup with Embiid in the lineup. Denver allowing 11 threes made per game. They're allowing like 36%. And I decided just to roll with that one. It was a fun one. And he hit like 8. He took 8 shots, I think, or more. But that was a little off the beaten path. I don't typically go that deep into the player prop pool. But if you got any plays that are just kind of like off the wall, throw them in there. All right, we got LeBron RA. How do y'all feel about Bankroll today? I know we were living on that under island with his PRA for a while. It was at 42, 43, 41. We just kept taking the under on it. Much better spot for him today. So we're looking at his blocks and steals, says Cutler. AD assist. AD assists? Who's not Anthony Davis? His assist is 3.5 divine. Let me know who you're looking at for 6 assists. Rymal, what's going on? Welcome in. All right, we are bringing the stream to a close after this one. If you're just joining the stream live 9 a.m. this week. Every stream this week will be at 9 a.m. We start within the first 5 or 6 minutes of the stream starting after going through some intro stuff. And then we just spend the next hour and 20 minutes or so going through a bunch of player props. So that's how we do it here. If you missed the stream, if you're catching this on the replay, appreciate you watching. Hit that like button. Let's see. We're at 5. We're liking rebounds for Bankroll. I think that's a very popular player, right? Why am I searching like that? Nope. I thought it was going to be one of these little flame. Oh, it is. It is. Over 28,000 people have played this prop. We don't know if they're going over or under, so this still doesn't give us all the information, but we just know that this is in play. Probably the over. Probably the over. People playing the over on his line. Divine, is LeBron out? Let's see. Last I saw, he was questionable. Yeah, he's questionable. All right. This is what we got. We got Butler over threes, Stewart over points, LeBron over RA. Well, not over. I'm sorry. We just got plays. Bankroll's blocks and steals, Ivy, PRA, and then Bankroll's rebounds. All right. Last round of player props. We're headed back over to props.cash. Like I mentioned earlier, you can scroll through the chat. You can see all the player props being asked about. So I would say I probably cover 85% of the props being thrown in the chat. So I will miss some. So if I miss yours, you have a couple options. Number one, I say get to the stream earlier. Number two, if you're not able to get to the stream earlier, or if you're at work and you just can't, do that, throw it over in the player prop Discord. Hit me up in my channel. Ask me about a player prop that you like. We'll take a look at props.cash together. What game am I looking for? There it is. Oh my God. We'll take a look at props.cash together, and then your question will be answered. So if that's an option for you, make sure you are in the Discord. So we're gonna look at Jimmy Butler threes. So Jimmy Butler threes over his last 10 games. He has gone over this in 3 straight games. It's not like he's missing a bunch of threes. It's just the fact that he doesn't take a bunch of threes. What is he averaging? Like 5 3-point attempts a game? Less. Jimmy's only taken 1 3 a game. Hundred percent from 3. On the year, so yeah, this is about as risky yet rewarding as it gets. Because if he shoots a 3, he's probably going to make it. I guess the question is, like, if he shoots a 3. So yeah, this is a fun one though. If you want to sweat this one out, I would definitely put this in a flex, not a power play. You do not want to lose your entry amount on Jimmy Butler failing to shoot a 3. But you do see Toronto's defense. They are allowing a great deal of production from that part of the courts. Bottom of the league in 3-point percentage, basically bottom of the league in 3-pointers made per game. Jimmy Butler is projected for 0.7 threes today. That is closer to 1 than it is to none. Have a little fun with this one. Take the over, but put it in a flex. Put it in the flex. All right. Minnesota, Detroit, Isaiah Stewart, points. He is getting a lot of love today. Back-to-back games of 16 plus. Now, the matchup against Washington was ideal for him. The matchup with Houston's got a good defense. So that was a little bit more of a surprise, but he's capable of putting up points. Staying out of foul trouble is his thing. Minnesota's front court is strong. His last 5 games look much better than his first 5 games here, or his 10. Anytime we see a huge lopside in the 5 and 10 games, we're going to look at the minutes here. Okay, so look, over his last 5 games, he's averaging well over 30 minutes in these games, closer to 35 minutes in these games. His other 5 games, well below 30. So playing time is definitely different in those games. Taking a bunch of shots in these games compared to this. So we're getting a flip here. If this remains consistent, I think it is possible for him to score 10 points even against Minnesota. I think the better play were his rebounds and assists at 7.5. His projections for rebounds and assists are at 8.2, and his projections for points are right at 11, basically. So weird that he's in a good spot, like that the odds and projections are liking him today, despite this matchup with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Let's look at Jaden Ivey. PRA. We like the under on this one. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I thought I saw under for Jaden Ivey. But let's take a look at it. 4 straight games of going over his PRA. Heavier odds to the under in this game versus the Wolves. Head-to-head matchup. There is none to speak of this season. Looking at his projection today, he is hooking it at 26. 26.4. His line is 26.5. I mean, you are getting a little bit of juice to the over, but more juice to the under. If you want to attack this prop because he's on a roll, he's on a hot streak right now, you can. I would just look at these matchups though, right? Sacramento plays fast, very little defense, just ask Phoenix. San Antonio, we know how bad of a team they are. This game against Houston was surprising that he was able to do this much. And then Washington, we know their defense is, again, not a good defense. He did it against Boston, did it against Houston again. So you got some games in there versus teams that really didn't expect that sort of output. But then some of these games, he should do that. So I can see it either way. But honestly, based off what I'm seeing here in terms of odds, in terms of the matchup, I think the under is where I would go with this Jaden Ivey player prop. But there is 5 games. There is 10 games. There are his projections. And here is the matchup for Jaden Ivey. Going into Orlando and Atlanta, we're looking at Bankero's rebounds sitting at, man, I know I selected rebounds. 7.5 on books, 7 on Prizepicks. So we are getting it at a flat number. Last 5 games, he's hit this in 3 out of 5 games. Over his last 10, he has hit this in 7 out of those 10 games against the Atlanta Hawks. This season, we have 2 games to look at where he has gone over with 8 and 10, averaging 9 in those 2 meetings. We look at the Atlanta's defense. We know they allow a ton of production. They just gave up 40 rebounds to Wembanyama. And then looking at his projections for today, he is projected for 7.34 rebounds, which is below the lines where we see on books. However, it is above the Prizepicks line. This one is did open up at 6.5 on PointsBet, BetMGM, Caesars, and DraftKings. If you play on any one of those sports books and you are able to grab this at 6.5, that is your best value for his rebounds today. Looking at his blocks and steals today at 1.5, this is getting you -109 to the over, -125 to the under. He has gone over this in 4 out of his last 5 games. 4 out of his last 6 games versus Atlanta, I should say. Looking at his 5-game log, 3 games over, but he's averaging 2 in those games because he is crushing these lines. So 4, 4, and 2, there's 10. 10 divided by 5 is 2. When he goes over by a lot. Like there is no sweat usually with this. So this is another good one for Bankroll against the Atlanta Hawks. He is projected for 1.53 steals and blocks, and that is over by 0.3. So there is Bankroll's blocks, rebounds. There is Stewart's points, Jimmy Butler's threes, Ivey's PRA. Last one we'll take a look at is LeBron James RA, and We'll close it out after that. Rebounds and assists for LeBron James. We're getting it at 15.5 over on Prizepicks. This is a coin flip in terms of odds. He has gone over this in just 2 out of his last 10 games. Head-to-head matchups look a bit better. 2 games this season versus the Mavs, 16 and 17. I hope Luka plays in this game. What a great game this can be if all players are healthy. Matchup with the Mavericks is favorable in terms of rankings. Bottom of the league in rebounds allowed, bottom-ish of the league in the league with assists allowed. Only projected for 15 rebounds and assists. So he's projected for the hook. Me personally, after many experiences of LeBron James crushing my soul, if I am not sold on his over, I 100% leave it alone. I do not give a shit what the books say to play the under on him. I just stop playing the under on LeBron James. I got to be 100% sold on his over or I stay away from it. So if you're like me, if you're not 100% sold on him getting you 16 rebounds and assists, live to play another day. But LeBron James numbers over his last 10, numbers against the Mavs are much better. Projections are for the hook, but the matchup is very favorable. So you got a lot of information there to sort through. All right. So last round of props. We got the over Jimmy Butler. Very fun prop here. Very fun prop. We know that if he takes a 3, he'll probably make it. We just need him to take a 3. Bit of a riskier one, taking the over on Stewart points. Projections line up well with this one. Again, you're not sold on this one, stay away from it. But LeBron James, 15.5. A case can be made for either side. Over on Bankero's blocks and steals. Under on Jaden Ivey's PRA. And then over on Bankero's rebounds for today versus the Atlanta Hawks. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you made it this far, very long stream, hour and 40 minutes, but we got it done. There is never a time limit on these. It just takes as long as it takes, but I have a lot of fun doing these. Hope I'm able to grab his answer your player prop questions. Again, if I didn't get to it, just join the Discord. It's 100% free. Literally free. There is no charge. There is no 30-day trial. Just sign up, join, shoot me a message in the Discord if we want to talk player props. We got the props.cash bot in there. It'll allow you to search game logs. Very light version of what you saw today. However, it is a great start to your research process if you don't have anything going on with your research process. Today we covered upwards of 30 player props. We talked about our Bankroll builder. We'll start that on Monday. Tomorrow's live stream is already scheduled for 9 a.m. Make sure your notifications are on so you don't miss anything. Hey, listen, if you want to ensure that your player prop question gets answered, one thing you could try doing is hitting me up in the Discord early in the morning. Hey, can you cover this in the live stream? We can count those and we can kick those off in the stream as well. But as always, thank you so much for just sticking around, showing up. Hit that like button on your way out if you have not done so. Consider subbing up to the channel. Last but not least, you know what I'm going to say. Regardless of the player props you roll with, mine, your own, or somebody else's, I hope they all respect the damn coin. My 2 player props are in the Discord. Going over Anthony Simons, rebounds and assists. Going over Colin Sexton assists. Put those in a 2-pick. You can check that slip out in the Discord. Best of luck to you all. And until tomorrow's live stream at 9 a.m., Chavez is